Hello and greetings. This is Jorge Misael Santos Martinez speaking here. And in this opportunity, I'm going to be working with the first speaking section of Technical English for Tourism with the topic of what is tourism. With all of this said, we can begin. Now, in order to address this speaking section, we have to tackle this topic with the following thing, themes, pardon. So, what is tourism? What are the key factors for tourism, and what are the most important skills that anybody has to have in order to work in this area? And also, we're gonna discuss briefly the podcast that talks about the same topic. What is tourism? So, what is tourism? Well, basically, tourism is an activity of people that travel to different places, rather for leisure, business, culture, or relaxation. That is it. That is all about what tourism is in a basic concept or in a basic understanding. Now, in order to address this in a basic depiction of what is tourism, I understand that tourism is something more than that. It helps us understand and discover new places, new people, and cultures. And that's why it's more than just that basic definition of what may or may not be tourism. Now, with this stated and clear, we have to understand now what are the main factors. And if you think it for a couple of minutes or seconds, if you might, we can understand the key factors for tourism or for a good tourist experience is, well, transportation. That is the main one. Because no matter how good a place might be, if you cannot get to that place, nothing matters at the end of the day. People will get the easiest and most efficient way to get to a place. So transportation is key. Also, accommodations. As much as you have a beautiful place, you need accommodation, not just comfort. You have to have the food, you have to accommodate for food, shelter, security, entertainment, anything that can be accommodated for the tourist has to be accommodated for them. So that is quite important. There are also other topics or topics, no, other key factors that are safety, the natural attraction, and a good customer service. That is quite important because no matter what you do, you have to give the best possible customer service to the tourist. Now, I believe in that same line of action that there are some key skills that you might need, or not might, you need definitely to work in this area. Those are obviously communication. You have to be able to communicate with others in this area, teamwork, problem solving, and friendliness, and respectfulness as well. Those key skills has to be in any person that wants to work in the tourist area. Now, let's talk about briefly of this podcast, what is tourism? And this podcast, and generally speaking, talked about the beauty of the Dominican Republic and how tourism uh, can help our uh, pardon the tourists to give more relaxing and interesting experience. They talked about places like Salto El Limón, Cayo Arena, and also different type of activities like snorkeling, and many other things like bus services, rent a car, snorkeling, like I told you before, and watching the sunsets, and many other things about what is tourism in our country, the Dominican Republic. So it was quite an interesting topic that I learned a lot from, and it was, to say the least, enlightening. So thank you for your time and cheers.